Hello and welcome to Broken Lance Hobbies. I'm James, I'm the creator and host of Broken Lance Hobbies, and this is my new passion project, something I've wanted to do for a while. So this is going to be the introduction video to the channel and take you through who I am, why I'm into the hobby, what I do in the hobby, and then where I intend to go with this channel. So firstly, who am I? I'm James. I am a 30-year-old guy from Nottinghamshire. I have been into the hobby since I was a kid, but I'm also, as a professional side of my life, I am in the army. I've been in the army in the British Army for just over a decade, which is terrifying when I think 5 minutes ago I was back in training. Then sorry, and now here I am. So, hobby-wise, joined the hobby as a kid in Nottingham. Did airfix. Dad always got me airfix kits, and then the Middle Earth strategy battle game came out, of which I still have some of the minis. I've got all the old minis we used to have down there in storage. That was really an introduction to Games Workshop and its products. Got to go to Warhammer World because that's the local store. I guess one of it's the big local store in the county for me. So visiting there as a kid was just mind blowing. Got introduced to Warhammer 40,000 through the tours, when they actually used to take you around and give you tours around the hobby, like proper members of staff scheduled tours. It was awesome. Really left a mark. And the team I fell in love with was the Astra Militarum, as they are now, or the Imperial Guards they were back then. Just the plight of the everyman in the 41st millennium was really cool to me, and just seeing human soldiers doing what human soldiers do. Fell out of tabletop wargaming when I joined the Army Cadet Force at about 12 years old. Got an Xbox as well, so my free time was cadets and Xbox. That was it. And then as we sort of went on in cadets, one of the really great instructors who I'm very proud and very fortunate to still call a very close personal friend, he introduced me to basically military wargaming, where he devised a war game using acetate cards with silhouettes on for units, and he put two teams of senior cadets, like 14 of us, 7 versus 7, and we were commanding essentially battle groups and brigades against my best mate across the room, who was playing the opposing force. I was playing the British brigade commander, and that was so cool because it was bringing wargaming, which I knew of from when I was younger. I was about 17 or 18 at this point, and applying it into a context of modern day military that I was really interested in at the time. And I loved that. That was probably one of my defining moments as a young man, thinking, oh, I really want to do this for a job, along with a load of other things that happened in the organisation. I leave cadets, I joined the army in 2013, and I sort of leave it. I don't really think about tabletop wargaming all that much until I still hear about Warhammer and all that stuff's happening in the background, until the same instructor, who's now a friend at this point, as I've worked with them as adults and as I was going back and helping cadets out as a soldier, introduced me to World War III Team Yankee, which is modern day-ish military gear. So that's where I rejoined the hobby, and he got me my first pack of Soviet infantry, which I painted in about. And I just go full in on this. It is relevant to what I do for work. It's stuff I'm interested in, and I just absolutely start peppering it. Not really playing many games to the full official rules, but using it as a training aid when we go away with cadets, and just for my own personal skills and knowledge, understanding different fighting vehicles. Then start playing a few competitive games, make a few friends here and there through the gaming system. And then COVID hit, and we all were sort of on standby at home for a few months. And between doing Fizz,
sure, Jan,
online lessons, I had plenty of spare time to chase my hobby, which was Call of Duty Warzone at the time, and then tabletop wargaming, and amassing a biblically sized force of Cold War Russians and Cold War British and Cold War Americans. You can sort of see where this is going. It grew and grew and grew and grew. And I wrote a narrative campaign for that, which we've actually started playing at the tabletop group at work. We've done the first couple of missions of that. And that was just it. I was properly hammering that, and then every time I got interested in work, or I wasn't really in positions to do it, but I was always trying to chase it at work and make it a thing that we did with work as well. And then come 2022, I was at work and I said, well, there was a load of guys in my troop all talking about Warhammer and all talking about playing and painting, and none of them were sort of doing it together, or they were in common rooms. So I sort of asked if they would want a big space to go together and do it on an evening, and that's become a thing, and it's been going for the last few years when we can fit it in the schedule. But that's like a really nice core community in the regiment of people that play, and then we've got more friends in the garrison and across the regiments that do it as well, and that's really cool because that's becoming quite a massive thing in the British Army. So 2022, I start again with recap. 2022, I get my Imperial Guard back on the go, my Astra Militarum, the new sculpts, I start hammering them. 2023, I just my force just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds, and I just keep buying Astra Militarum, and I can't seem to stop because they're really cool. And then on top of 2022 starting this again, I discovered that the massive YouTube hobby space, Peachy Tips back when he was on the painting phase, and then Rogue Hobbies started, and then there was like the Honest Wargamer, and we got Pete the Wargamer, and all these really fantastic creators. And if any of you see this, you're all really influential and just genuinely good people that have helped so many of us through just having somebody to talk to and listen to in the background whilst we do our hobby. Even if we're alone, it feels like somebody's there, which is hopefully what this sort of channel can offer to some of you. So yeah, this big YouTube hobby space comes along. It's a thing, and I enjoy, as a lot of us do, listening and watching the content. So yeah, which leads me to, why am I doing this? As well as all of the stuff I've just talked about with the hobby, I enjoy video editing, and I've done a bit of video editing in the past with gun cam footage from work, where I've never really released it on social media because I've been a bit wary of it, but I've done some what I thought was pretty cool videos. So now and that was using like Windows Movie Maker, so they were really basic sort of stuff. So now I've downloaded different software, and I want to use this as a sort of creative outlet online to make and create a video. And just, I like talking. Who doesn't? I love talking, clearly. So I want to use this as a platform to create and talk through stuff I'm interested in, and then share it with all of you, whilst learning new skills with video editing, maybe learn a few things painting. So what do I intend to make on this channel, video-wise, content-wise? I'm going to obviously make a few painting videos. I am by no means a great painter. I'm an okay painter. Not to the standard of the other great channels that are out there that can give you tutorials, but what I might do is paint and talk about what I'm painting, why I'm interested in what I'm painting, and what I'm trying to achieve with it. And then if anybody wants tips or how I'm doing stuff, I'll just let you know. Just ask in the comments, which is really weird saying this, having listened to this being said so many times. Modelling, I'll try and learn a bit. I want to make a diorama. I've always wanted to make one, and I've got a really cool idea for one. This is going to be the centrepiece. This is going to be a proxy Ursula Creed, maybe like in her younger days, and I'll put a picture of this up. But she's going to be the centrepiece as a young Kazakin captain. And then I want to build like this hill with loads of soldiers fighting and defending it. And so that's going to be like one of the streams of effort with this channel. I've also got some other stuff like Silver Bayonet on the table. That one's all you, Peach. Which I also think is cool because of regimental history. I'm really close to a regimental museum. I've got some. Well, we got these free Wargames Atlantic sprues at Salute, which was amazing. I've never been to one before, but Salute 51 was absolutely out of this world. So that's got me into World War II. Probably going to be a bolt action army. And then I've got more 15mm Team Yankee on the go. I've got some Butlers printed models, Ajax up here. So I've got literally so much stuff on the go that I can talk through. But videos as well, I want to do like real world comparisons. So if this Imperial Guardsman is wearing this gear, what's its real world analog? Why do you have your kit like that? So people can understand, if they don't have an understanding of real world military gear, they can then look at it through the lens of, oh, that's why that guardsman's got a kit like that, or oh, this uniform leads to that. Because we do a lot of the historical comparisons, and a lot of people do the comparisons of that, and the great videos of comparisons of Imperial Guard factions to their real world analogues. But I want to delve into the gear because I'm a bit of a kit pest as well. Then swinging back onto the Team Yankee front, I want to do, or the 15mm like modern day military vehicles, I want to do comparisons, or maybe paint a vehicle, build a vehicle, paint a vehicle, talk about the vehicle in the game, but also talk about the real world vehicle and where we see them. Because one thing that really, really grips me, and I mean really, really grips me, is people just calling stuff a tank. And I'm guilty of it now as well, but that's because it's become easier to just call something a tank if it's got tracks on it. So what I want to do here is use this as a bit of an education space for combat ID, or combat ID as we call it now, recognition and AFV recognition. Might be a bit of an interesting thing for people, but that'll be a series I do as well. And this is just going to be something I'm going to hammer, probably not all that often. I still have a day job. I'm still quite busy, very busy. I'm going away soon. So this lovely backdrop that is my hobby desk at my home in Nottinghamshire will be sort of made expeditionary, packed in a box and sent overseas. So the videos might be slightly different. But yeah, that about covers everything I wanted to cover using my notepad I've got down there, as you may have seen me glancing, if I've not edited out and covered it. So yeah, come along for the ride. Hopefully you like what you've seen as I've thrown some of the pictures and videos up in the background. And let's see what's next. Like and share, and oh my god, it feels weird saying it, but yeah, like, share, and please subscribe, because it would mean the world to me. And then hopefully I can find more stuff that means the world to you and you like watching and listening to in the background. Have a good one.